tell you that the barrio is a bad place to live, but I grew up in this neighborhood, and I'm proud to say I'm from here. Me and my brothers, we take care of our own, and we look out for our community. That's why our neighborhood is number one, and that's why, for sure, man, there's no place I'd rather be.
The life Jaime Valdez talks about may seem good, but there's another side to the story. A story of fear, hate, and violence. A story of a community in a state of siege, paralyzed by a threat from which no one is safe. Combating that threat is one of the toughest challenges the law enforcement officer must face. Street gang violence is not a new phenomenon. For lawless gangs of urban youth have been a fixture of life in our bigger cities for more than a century. Today, however, the gangs are a subject of growing national concern, for their influence is no longer confined to the central cities. With startling swiftness, the blight of gang violence has spread to outlying communities. Suburban, middle-class neighborhoods once thought to be comfortably far removed from this threat to life and property. Out of new social stresses, the new gangs have emerged. Bigger, tougher, more mobile than the gangs of the past, and armed with deadly weaponry. From area to area across the country, the names of the gangs may vary, but the message remains the same. A desperate disregard for personal security and the worth of human life. With over 10,000 members in the Los Angeles area alone, the gangs constitute an ominous force. A force that has brought a virtual state of war to the streets of our cities, jeopardizing the safety of every citizen and adding to the already difficult task that faces all branches of law enforcement. In the beginning, life is innocent and free. And children who will one day be hated enemies play together in harmony. But by early adolescence, many of the kids, responding to peer pressures and to traditions that may span several generations, turn to the gangs for pride, for excitement, for a sense of belonging. To its members, the gang, or club, or clique, or neighborhood is an identity, a defense against the world. But while belonging to a gang is a harmless inclination of many youngsters, in the ghetto, the gang is far removed from fun. It is a powder keg waiting to explode. On a typical weekend night, Whittier Boulevard in East Los Angeles is jammed bumper to bumper with carloads of cruising gang members. Here in this no-man's land between the territories of the various gangs, anger, frustration, and pride can turn in a moment to violence. And no insult, real or imagined, is permitted to go unanswered.
Christ, we reverently bring the body of our brother to be buried in its human imperfections. May God give him a merciful judgment and forgive all his sins. And may Christ, the Good Shepherd, lead him safely home to be at peace with God our Father.
He was drunk. They went down to the boulevard to Whittier. And he asked the guys, where are you from? They tell him from the avenues, and the hassle just started because they killed one of his friends, so he turned around and shot them.
Like I told you, my dad and my brother-in-law are from Mariana. In their days,
They told me that gang fight was a good gang fight because everybody used to fight with hands, a couple of sticks, and maybe a couple of chains.
A gang is a small army in the community which people get together to protect themselves from outsiders.
We asked several gang members if they, personally, had ever killed anyone.
I want nothing to do with that question.
I'd rather not answer.
No comment.
Yes, I have. Believe it or not, I felt proud. I thought it was big, you know, but looking back at it now, it's stupid. You know, I really think it's dumb.
After, everything that's happened to me, being involved in the gang, I guess I would shoot somebody, if I caught them, in my neighborhood, if I had a gun on me or something,
It isn't hard to get a gun, especially a hot gun.
Well, I also carry a machete, 38 snug nose or 22, a 25 automatic.
If they're going to a party, the girls will have it in them or in their purse.
Yeah, but they don't find them. I hide them in my moccasin boots or in my bra.
Because the guys always get checked, the girls don't. When the sheriffs, if the sheriffs were to pull over the guys and the girls are there, the girls just stand aside and the guys are the ones that get frisked. And the cars get turned upside down or whatever. The girls don't get checked.
Well, we was at a party off of Western, and this guy, it was a Crip party. So this guy came in, barging himself to the party. So what we did, the Crips fought him, so I jumped in and I stabbed him. I don't know how many times I stabbed him.
My homeboy Flocka was killed in a party, was set up. We got into it, and he got killed. I figured that, and eventually I'll get some payback, but he's like a part of the family to me.
The gang is virtually all my family. And in order, like myself, everybody living in a ghetto such as this has to get into a neighborhood. You either get into a neighborhood or you get killed.
Many gangs actively recruit very young members. Because of their special status under the law, these youngsters may at times serve a function as hitmen.
My name is Danny and I'm from Hickory. And I got in, I was 10 years old and now I'm 12. And you get courted in by, they jump you. Certain people from Hickory, they jump you. They beat you up. A few guys get you and they beat you up.
Well, it's like an initiation, My older brothers, I don't know if they got jumped in, but they wanted me to get jumped in, so that's how I got in,
Well, I want to be like the guys from the same gang, because I knew a lot of them where I lived, because they all lived in my block. No, I don't go to school now. Yes, I try to go to Virgil, but the gangs are trying to jump me. I try to go to Gage too, but they try to jump me there too. Because at Virgil, one of my friends, he fought with another guy in camp, and he told him that he got friends in Virgil, in Hickory, so they got me. They wanted to get us, so we just left from the school.
I wouldn't want to die, but if I have to, to help one of my friends, because I know they would, if one of my friends was to see me getting jumped, I know they would help me, because I've been around, and I know who would help me and who won't help me.